Risk and resilience. So here we talk about a reference architecture, risk and resilience. Include this reference architecture. Uh, let's start here. Business capabilities and key KPIs, and uh, and proactively manage tech and cyber risk and compliance. So this talks about how do you achieve some business capabilities using ServiceNow products, like in the journey, like for example, IRM plus PRM, SecOps, hyphen ENT, or ITOM Pro, and so on. Right. So HAM, SAM, ITBM, SecOps, Enterprise, ITOM, Platform, IRM. Right. This is a combination. First one, effectively manage and report on enterprise-wide risk and compliance. For this, you need IRM, SecOps, and VRM. Then manage business continuity and operational resilience, IRM, HRST, ITOM, VRM, BCM, the products. And similarly, manage third-party and supplier risk. You need VRM, IRM, ITSM Pro, and service and product capabilities and descriptions. So, and package, you have capabilities. Yeah, so basically this talks about what are the different products and the capabilities and how you buy them together to meet that uh, business requirements, right, or that use case. So that is about that. Next, we move to the next one. Next, we have another learning course where you have Now Create. Basically, this tells you how to leverage Now Create for your implementation. That's that. So yeah, yeah. So once you log in, you can search for different success packs or assets. If you search for success pack, it will tell you anything which matches the keyword. Similarly, if you search for assets, you have all those assets. Next, we talk about partner sales resources, sales success center. So that's one area, high spot, where you can use again partner sales content. Then you have partner impact, Zomo space, ServiceNow impact. Then you have ServiceNow partner program. And then when we talk about GRC business user, that role. So GRC business user background, the GRC line product line requires action for many users who don't have traditional product role, such as compliance reader, risk reader. Even the reader also allow access to product module, dashboards, reports, and reader tables. To improve internal security of product, we added a dedicated GRC business role. This role should be assigned to users who require access only to GRC applications to perform tasks assigned to them. For example, a business user who must respond to attestation or risk assessment. Users with business user role are provided with limited access to information that is relevant to tasks assigned to them. The business user role is also used for integrated integration scenarios between GRC and other service products. For example, vulnerability response user with GRC business user role can request policy exception from GRC policy compliance. So installation and behavior. Beginning with GR 11.6, there is a one-time activity during install or upgrade. Uh, this assignment occurs only once, and future product upgrades will not assign the roles to additional users. So skip role assessment and upgrade. There's a for 12.x version of GRC. There's a system property, manage role assignment, knowledge article for that. And so what are the different role permissions? It takes an attestation, group, ungroup attestations, view policies. Basically, it's view, report, and work on assigned issues, and so on with risk management. And then you have, similarly, if you have PPM, then that is that. Approver and assessor of advanced risk assessment requires SN Risk Advanced ARA Assessor, SN Risk Advanced ARA Approver roles beginning GRC. Advanced Risk 14.1.2. So you need more roles to do assessment and approving of advanced risk. So that is changed as part of 14.1, 14.2. Next, we move on to the next shortcut, customer success center. Again, one more place where you can leverage a lot of ServiceNow content for successful implementations. Next, we have customization we already covered. Then we talk about UCF and UCF framework. So how do you use UCF to load control objectives into ServiceNow? So that is that. And you need to log in, you need to create a login for that. And once you have that, then you should be able to download sample documents. And then next is before query business rules. How to use that? Access controls are a great tool to limit data visibility to those who need. However, there are some drawbacks. There's a message that comes up, number of nodes removed for this by security constraints. Many organizations don't want their users to know that they're being denied. In large lists, the allowed records do not bubble up to the top. They are hidden pages down there in the list, which are difficult for users to find. And there's a significant performance issue if you use script-based business ACLs. Now, before query business rules are just sound like business rules that run before the query on table. They offer opportunity to add query terms that limit data return and can therefore act as security measures. So, because the list of data returned by pre-filtered, no more number of rows list by security constraints. If scripting or additional query is necessary to determine how data is filtered, it's far more efficient to do that once and before business rule than in hundreds of thousands of times through iterative run of ACL script on each row of table. This is a key differentiator, I believe. In before query business rule, it runs once versus each record on ACL. So steps to implement. So there's an example here. So if you're doing it by ACL, then if you're doing by business before query business rule. Additional information. Yeah, before query business rule is very effective to limit data visibility at row level. ACL must still be used to limit visibility at field level because before query business rule runs before the data is written, they will run prior to processing of ACLs. If customer prefers the warning, reassurance of security that ACLs provide, you may implement both of them. The same performance benefits will be realized. So that's that about before query business rules. How to configure GRC user hierarchy access control for custom tables. In GRC profile app version 4.x.x, we are introducing a framework which helps us enable user hierarchy access control on any table in ServiceNow instance. We are also shipping user hierarchy access control pre-configured on same out-of-the-box GRC tables with underneath users that same framework mentioned. User hierarchy of a user means anyone who belongs to management chain above the user, including user manager, manager, so on till the top of hierarchy. If ACL has been set up for table in such a way that only assignee approver are allowed to the record, in that case, management chain of user in the question would not have access to the record. If the use case is that apart from assignee, approver, owner, etc., their manager hierarchy should be able to access the record. In that case, user hierarchy access control comes into picture and framework helps us improve that. So what is that? How it does look like? Create 3 new fields in table on which user hierarchy access control has to be configured, which means user hierarchy 1, hierarchy 2, user hierarchy status. And then if user hierarchy has to be enabled only for one field instead of 2, you can skip creating user hierarchy 2. User hierarchy 1, user hierarchy fields are reference type fields, referencing table user hierarchy, which is SNGRC user hierarchy. User hierarchy status field is a string field having 2 choices, processed value, awaiting processing 2. Create additional read ACL on table. This requires role that should have roles, which is required to have redax on table. The role may vary table to table. The condition be same as one example. Dot walk hierarchy field from user hierarchy 1 should contain me, or dot walk hierarchy field from user hierarchy should contain me. That's your condition. So there has to be a daily scale job per application scope that which will trigger user hierarchy processing. If there's a scale job in your application scope, you can skip creating it. There has to be an event registry record per application scope, which is triggered by SQL job. If you skip creating the SQL job in step 3, you must already have this in event registry record as well. So you can skip this as well. Then write a script for event registry, which will do the work of user hierarchy utils, process records for user hierarchy. Create a record on user hierarchy configuration for table on which you are configuring user hierarchy features. And then there's a business rule as well. There's event, script action, and so on. So basically, if you want to implement user hierarchy, then this is the method you have to follow. Next, we talk about some product documentations on the same topic, user hierarchy. So let's check if anything has changed in Utah. And again, there's a nice additional features mentioned here. There's some system properties, frequency, maximum batch size, all of that. Tables that are used to support SN GRC hierarchy, SN user hierarchy, SN user hierarchy configuration, user hierarchy configuration module, SELs, create user hierarchy configuration record, all of that. So that's that. Next, we have next product documentation. Next, we talk about confidentiality records. Confidential records, you can make sensitive GRC records as confidential. You can make sure that right people have access to these records. So there's a record level confidentiality is available in GRC properties. You can turn it on. So there's unmarking confidential on the record. When you do that, allowed users and groups on that record will be removed and all users will get access to the record based on ACL. User rules are required to access confidential records. SNGRC.confidential user rule is required. Consider some examples. Okay, so but this is the page where you'll look for that. There's a confidential tab that comes up, confidential tab, and then tables on which confidentiality is supported, audit task, audit engagement, evidence response, issue, audit observation, compliance policy exception, GRC task, advanced event, disclosure, ESG material, GRC metric definition, composite metric definition. Starting with Utah, confidential configuration for all out-of-the-box confidential enabled tables except SNGRC material topic, GRC metric definition are shipped to the GRC confidentiality configuration table. To enable confidentiality in your GRC tables, you must perform additional configurations such as upgrading client scope details and so on. You can also enable confidentiality in the form in the workspace view. And then confidential inheritance in your tables. You can set up confidentiality inheritance in your tables that are already configured. And there is a functionality for that. Okay. Let's look at how to create a confidential table you want to add to confidentiality feature. Let's look at this one. So I'm going to log into my instance. So we'll look for confidentiality configuration and we'll see how to add a record. It's an audit control test. Let's add a new record here. And let's see what fields are allowed, like what tables are allowed here. The table name and SN_GRC profile. Let's say you want to enable it on entity. Let's see if that is possible. Okay, you have fields that are available. Field for allowed users, framework, functional domain pillar. Field for allowed users, framework, functional domain pillar. Auto update. Populate allowed users from, on which field? Owner, allowed groups from. All these fields. Right? Okay, so we submit it. So we need to select populate. Okay, so it has to extend this user is what it's saying. Only to this user field and allowed users. Okay. So I thought owner does references user table, but yeah, that is that, and then populate groups. Okay, we don't have that. So all right, but yeah, that's that. So you should have a field that allows you to. But we can also not add them for now. So it's okay, it's mandatory. So one of the two. Don't have to autopopulate also. Let's try this. Okay, so this time I think it created it. Let me go to the list view and check. Okay, it did not. So, but yeah, so that's the place where you do it if you want to do it. So let's move on. So we talked about confidential records already. Let's go to the next topic. ServiceNow communities, next one. So if you're new to ServiceNow, if you want to get quick help, then I think this is one of the places where you can get uh, immediate response from a lot of active ServiceNow enthusiasts. Next, we talk about setup checklist for GRC policy compliance management application. This checklist includes setting up tasks that you're required to complete in your Now platform and GRC policy compliance management application checklist. So first is we verify like if all the required apps are installed and so on and so forth. Right? So yeah, but this is a checklist that will help you uh, speed up your implementation process. That's that. The next topics we'll cover in the next video. Thank you.